Canada, Japan, Dubai, Qatar, UK, Saudi Arabia, any near Kikahuan, me pa chow, me man be bia, say okay, travel and talk limited, ya swear na I was all do any chile. Seban wa kwen tu hu eye nkrata sema ye boa pa seban passport u birth certificate and a visa hu sensema okay travel and talk limited ebe di waka ginam na bibia so ai ka papa e dia ma medical ka kire wo se ya so ye kasia bebi atra wo eye la shibi Clagon Star Oil Jupiter kwanso na ye butuo woni ya teten komo e wo 0244 494 536 0244 494 536 and 0244 885 513. Now, yani OKP aye travel and talk limited and penny for to kese na bibia so anya kama pa. I was say we betu kwan ya. I was so born who buy I was soon fem. Na so bobo who buy I was soon fem a man ko bia say Haludi Sabo Healing Center na make for the amount. Haludi Sabo say amin kan tira o say bibi ni puma ka ye da ana say bibi ni wiasa ka ye da ye ntupum na say bibi wo wiase dia I was so soon akwanche ni susu ahobambo I was say wunya bi ena me no ka say Bible tell say enya yani eye huna ni moja na enya na yani eye mame wata tuntuma tufo na kabrechire ani be ye huhum ena same no mo du fontomfra ewo eye asase so me kamfo Haludi Sabo eye ni samana enwo waso efre no akoyala no edi ama amemo nkoyi akoyala busuya nkoyi akoyala abawo akoyala awari asem akoyala promise and faith akoyala just we do how be for akoyala sheho filling the blank space not just a blank space no akoyala ye wo suhun kuku a honum ana yebutuo 0243 409 862 0243 409 862 now 0540 670 646 0540 670 646 now 0201 223 717 Ahana Wutie. Right, 28 minutes to the top of the hour. 4 p.m. in the studios. Ivan Kyei Innocent Atanase. Na ewa twemu se Bernard Odro tachi so eba be kayensa. Mamima Ivan akwaba.
Yeah, unya Alaska mejo so.
Na wako die.
Wonyame adom ahoden wo ho.
Ghana ani eye amemu no uhu na sai.
Sa babia amamo no sunsunso aduru no aduru achiri.
Okay.
And they say akan obia. So it's no surprising so who say former Chief Justice Ekura placards Ediabontia protested vehemently against government decision to include pensioners in the ongoing debt restructuring. Me say and I told you so. Abaye sign of your friend is a vindication. I
told you so. I don't know. I have
Yes, because Alaska, when this whole discussion about how recklessly you're managing this particular economy started, so in many of the occasions you share, and we spoke against Nema Nayakoso, many people thought say be obine say obi echi na wabo obi pa say yembo akufado your friends say yen kanasem
right,
and I said we were driven by hate, the malice, let's just say abandon na yem penasem. So some of our branded binum say binum anti-government and then I say for them, but naysayers, some ballots, ne Tobis from the president himself. But then it's good saying Obia who said Sama Shas and I cano, nay no time, Namum, Obi say Adia Obi Kotoha, Ohuno, Ebia, also original sign for so I be a woman. And it's good so be who said. Baby, and some nice as a kind, no, Nisun sounds were hen a baby pie. I and or more very often, who almost say, or more getting involved in, say, criticizing a band, kind of cratch up by who and or Munina, but you might catch yourself here in Tobond.
Oh, Yenny
and Tobond. Until a who's of a Kufu no would go no musical Japadio when you know what I talk to Tobond.
That's right.
So I come, so I know nobody's fighting for them. That is why they are forced to come out. Fighting for themselves, who Christian Council, near issue statement, or musica, and a codis and sembem, or more, or one yading, kwaya sanka hia fo sika na yafa nka sa nkrofo we bia you never hear from them
very well
because yet chrome ha niema we shase kanofurata shase obobosia se bia nwene ho bosia hodo ono ankasa ne fem eje cat ne na se for se start ye no enye nne na ka kiro se ade a asi na yete hoyi enye miracle say ya da sorry ya na se Ghana economy a crash a conscious decision and individuals be adopt ye say or be live a reckless lifestyle and reckless lifestyle no muli dey your personal life oh it is about the life of this particular country ne munipa your life and omo be ye ne sa so ehunsun sanso e na abe eda nyina ye nim ene abe say Bible obi akinkan bi no so I think say nsunsanso na ye nyina ye te ho no now we are trying to manage the nsunsanso the consequences no say be ya and result in human life but enka ye nyina ejetum and anka ye the politics to nchen when we saw the classical signs of your friend saying massive incompetence thievery ne corruption na na ekoso na ye ka sabi enka be ya nuru ha na no me wo Facebook no bi be to say why do I always talk negative about the government but there are positive things I will have say yanka let me say negative things the positive things you know when you have negative overshadowing so-called positive you know I won't waste my energy on talking about the bank aban say okohan dan my mrantie at this crucial time abra or minor boy we are on our knees begging people to come to our aid for redemption you know is it a positive something that I can support when saglimegu nguram dan no say na ohia nyina chi ya yese pensioners and sacrifice no ya 4 months ka 30 million Ghana cedis e dey akwa komo obi say private firm ye ba behind dan my Ghana for na da ban na mrante ka so mu hia dan na edan han na Ghana for hia at this crucial time we people want jobs people want employment so that this economic dependency you know e be free home akato say enye obi anije so be da so so obi ko han dan ama no we ya brante no obi kura han dan ama na dama wani je because you don't feel proud of yourself because a human being no onuba bia kwa feel say what fail you ho so obia that your first economic independence you know to be able to at least decide on edan behind na se mrane na se fu ewo krom nu ye adwuma behind that na se 6 months na se mitua and there are lost backing those are the policy table and at the helm of affairs it is their job to ensure that those mrane be ye adwuma I don't need government to put up interventions there or behind I am we have housing deficit make sure those houses are available then make people get job the omunya job no one kasa will find a way on meeting and live so these are some of the realities say in some na ye be kan no say ene I walk you through when your man for be mercy or say they will commit crime in this particular country and they are getting away with it.
But I say I want you innocent now with you can I was here obi sending message or see your kukumponi na ye besua and Ivan the preliminary comment in no yes only believe senior secondary school sukua the best always come from the east and I don't think I may come for only believe senior secondary school at the amount awophobia maybe I chakwenya wo hold man from 1 and 2 4 ko na kwaje admission ma wo ba computerized placement system and adani fraud but me amika tell me nyina ne say Ghana constitution treasure say fraud crime or computerized placement system one esi uba ho kwan BC resource ni nya only believe senior secondary school betinete at the amount womu wo akwenya at the man of death kubetu na san turo biu ababoa na bibia se kama 2022 wasi resource no 100% all the tertiary institutions across the country students ewo ho a womu esu ade se na me ya da chom de bebo omu bra womu wasare na conducive environment very common for academic work Bomodi a church for no see a public on my bay. That's on my biashi and my biashi kama. What is on we yen so ya kama pa ewo won pe we na pe. Omo fees no so ni tua no ya no flexible a ubetumi etua na biashi kama. Suku we ewo achim kokrantumi. Yani panipa anasempani for 0242 02 my fund is 0240 202-148 0240-202-148 now 0247-670-736 now 0500-041-317 0500-041-317 Mamincha Oze wo kwanchafo penny or dance school ya no watching concrete to me I'm a innocent my share discussion as Auditor General at the report with regards to COVID-19 audit report about. They can be some the Attorney General at Tro at the Amanda said, by a year, Anka publication our year, our Auditor General's Department on the website and I'm pulling it down. If said your year and when you're council, fine, why your reports? I was here called Parliament and debate. Our son and which in was published, but Public Account Committee, chairman, Kuche Abezi, per the law now also see an Auditor General and your Bonibia, who to me publish it until said law near be changing, Auditor General and your Bonia. MPP press conference and any 3 days. No more can say MPP backs Attorney General on a consensus race over COVID audit report. As NDC won Attorney General over needless debate. And this is what the Attorney General says, so Nimra Unsiamra. On God withdraw letter 10 no me show before. Ever COVID-19 Auditor General is what the matters are.
Yes, Alaska. Dabia Mekasa said, what's your far? Nasa oh share what is happening on the Ghana's political arena. Nasa what's your chira. Na I say, just I say comedy and the Yakwasi send you a good stage. And no more ya chira. Now what's in China oh share nasa be what you muda. Yeah, you look at those happenings, you know, with extreme revulsion, anger be because people you expect say who are supposed to be very knowledgeable. Among for more requisite experience in governance, sabin commodity near master, and writing as a for my can so you expect nothing from them, but you know, a display of that kind of intellectual weight, you know, in the dealings in the name of be or more, you know. But these are individuals, Osha near more, ya Sabina was singing him. Auditor General, no, or yeah, Juma Mahifan for. He is accountable to the people of Ghana.
Exactly.
And the money in question are all the people's money. So breaching no law when he does his audit report and decide to put out there to the people or the co-parliament. Parliament is just a representative of the people.
Exactly.
Because all of us cannot be in parliament. So a select few are more representative of the people. So there is no difference in taking a report, giving it to Parliament, and giving it to the public. No, it doesn't make any difference. What I say, but Attorney General, what I was expecting from him at this crucial time, you know, considering the level of thievery, the level of financial malfeasances, misapplication, misappropriation, as Attorney General was sworn an oath to protect the public purse and the interest of the people of Ghana. No. Your sworn duty is to ensure that individuals named in that particular report, you know, you will be preparing and ensuring, say, or mine seeker, and yes, say, no, Nasa Wafma Sebi. Memajuman say, I'm preparing, say, San Crofono, they will face prosecution. Any sensible Attorney General on your right senses, if you are not tied to the apron strength of power that be, and you are being manipulated to do the bidding of whoever appointed you, Alaska, you don't think about the report. Say that Quabonti and Nasi and Fan Quabonti, now Uncle Likina, some not can say because a report that has been published out there today, you know, it's a public document.
Exactly.
I have a copy on my phone. I have the PDF form on my phone. So how do you take it off? Say, oh, taking it off and then, may I publish it because I have the full destiny on my phone. It is already in the media. So it's absolutely senseless for a whole Attorney General to write in the particular manner telling him say he should withdraw the when the thing is already a public document out there. But he is never concerned about the one-time thievery that has gone on in this particular country. Chronona Yabon on Krata Numuna, Attorney General, and duty to ensure say no, he is not interested. That tells you there, Alaska, all these guys are doing nothing but politics. And my culture, the nature of our politics is such that Obi appointewa. You sing hallelujah choruses, all to the glory of the puppet grandmaster who appointed you. Makata said, Obima to me, Kroma won't more be to me so befana yere crown or Panama fana yere, no money to me. Because power in the hands of the unwise, you know, they become very dangerous. They will use it to do anything. So, to me now, the other by and they are on fire because, as same way, and yes, in the womb, something that has been published. And the guy did the job for your friends, the people of Ghana. The whole essence of your first audit to ensure transparency and accountability. And it is out there for the public Sankomo ya the papa wom and then Kaba and I say Akufo and Nkrofo put the money in good use. Sikano, there's some we used to the Nyama Kran or my Yama. They say Ghana Nyam fast one and can report in about Bontia. Nka will he be telling ya say young would draw a report no. So he's only condoning criminality because they are involved. To them, it's like a gang of where you form it. And their job is to ensure, say, they will wreck this particular country home dry. And that is exactly what is happening. So, to me, I am not surprised. But it's so shameful watching it from a distance. People who have promised us that they knew it all and that they could display their first manage this particular country in a manner. We are stuck on our TV screen, watch them display boundless incompetence and recklessness in the manner you manage this particular country. So that is very frustrating. But a man in Alaska, then you come back to ask a question. Why is corruption so rampant in this particular country? Why is everybody stealing? Why is it that people feel comfortable stealing and they get away with it? Because the arrangement and the structure of our system is such that it condones thievery and corruption. Because in this act here, you expect an act of criminality. Theft, perjury, your friends say perjury, misappropriation. The first thing you do in any civilized dispensations to ensure that we commit investigation and ensure that we get to the closure of this particular matter. When I came here last week, I told you that in the United States of America, my commencing investigation into COVID money, because America made available over $5 trillion to fight the pandemic. Sikana Maria who said they had the two small businesses in Sikana and do and they have set up a committee investigating where those monies went. Because that is what responsible government be. That is your job. Malawi president at a key way. So say a group of business states in the job is to protect criminals and use some of these technical things to ensure say we got people from being prosecuted. We got people from answering some of the questions that they are supposed to ensure public clarity. That's a state in Alaska. Then it gives room. There is enough incentive for people to steal.
Seriously.
Exactly. And I am not surprised because you see, Akufo-Addo, I don't hate him. I can't just say the highest attainment anybody can achieve in life is being president. But it's not just being president. It's being president with the responsibility. But not being just a president, you display that kind of recklessness and your incompetence in this particular manner. And then you say quite say. You say quite the bend then can find
you say I want takra
okay.
Exactly.
My father what can I be insert or my castle to young person. Me da be medium to young person. About $7 mean to me repeat it.
That's right.
So Alaska. So here, there is no motivation, there is no incentive. My catcher say, so we a leader, that's our place. We are successful. Alaska, you need to draw the red lines.
You need to draw
the red lines.
Okay.
You tell people close to you, say, hey, Jack, I love all of you. We are working together. But these are the red lines. Never dare to cross them because I will see it as a personal attack on my reputation as president.
Okay.
And I will deal with you ruthlessly. Trust me. So when you set these red lines there, Nipano ye Jumanas or no from no who's an ensako bomb sikama. You see them resigning in other jurisdictions. That is what they do. So Japan or more some group we are from Yakuzu.
Okay.
Or was that criminal kind of way, you know. Or mon penny for so from now. Answer I'm called Drune Nimno, your Friday be atonement. Or be fast kind of channing Sabako, and son will do Penny Ukraine just to atone for his sins.
That's right. And
son of Penina can be at the Bayano. That is what you do. So you see, said there is enough respect there. But baby, do you see any sign of respect? President now, because nipo mocha no hwehia no mu no. Because amoko bokro no na omoba, ono ankasa na show mukutupa. Exactly. And na economy na sabinka ye try senka Ghana betimi agina ye na obi a ho atono no. Economy ne yatam. And yet they are toy economists in some, and they are toying around the future of this particular country. Alaska. Look at what is happening. Baby Ghana Babedri, my main car assemble control why people get away with crime. When you are Bank of Ghana, your friends the governor who are there. There were reports say Aquana Pentisika 40 billion.
That's right.
And Maramakine. So far, your friends said the Bank of Ghana Act now.
That's right.
It was enacted in 2002. 2002 section 30 permitted central bank financing LCD 10%. And that law was amended in 2016, and you reduce 10% to 5%. So it doesn't matter what happens. Central bank can only finance central government, cross the tune of 5% of previous revenue in the fiscal year.
Right.
And it's all called the year 2021. Sika yajijin wo krom in terms of revenue na Alaska yenya 70 billion. So out of this 70 billion, you can only support central government financing with just 5%. Or the 70 billion, which translates to about 3.5 billion. That is the highest that you can go per the law. But this is a Gaia. 3.5 billion and we printing sika a whooping 41.9 billion. And the number one thing, we are not the statement about. And as childish as he has always been, he's trying to explain, say, oh, now a binary suspended, your friend is saying, a Physical Responsibility Act. We use a COVID nearby, not those serious, no intimidant, government, I say Physical Responsibility Act in the I know you're one of the reasons why they spent above, you see, this is so childish, Alaska, because we are talking about two separate laws. The Physical Responsibility Act is different from the act of the Banking Act.
Exactly.
The Bank of Ghana Act is different. Other particular act, specifically local section 30, you are drafted back and say you can only spend about 5% of your previous revenue in the previous fiscal year. And how can this ever be a justification? Say what printed and we had discussion there because within the public now. The public, we were very charitable. We were saying, so it was 40 billion. And then, Onwa Baba confirmed, says he cannot cry, can 40 billion. And you 44.5 billion. Translated to $3.3 billion. That is the same, more than the amount we are asking from IMF. So you have to come here. Bank of Ghana and Kwame Tinya print sika, a chain sika, ya free.
Exactly.
IMF, Sabe Latia Yatihui. Yeah, 3 billion. But Sika Bank of Ghana governor and Kwa Penton Kwa de Bego, my numero, I have $3.3 billion.
Which is a crime.
Which is a crime. And this guy shamelessly is out there using, your friend is saying, certain way, trying to justify this thing. Because the Bank of Ghana Act, as stated, and the fact is, you revoke it and also you suspend the Fiscal Responsibility Act, and does not invalidate the essence. And I say your friend saying that law, which is the Banking Act, But this is a guy. There is a statement out there, so we are.
That's right. I've seen that.
Okay, other Babon justifying why he borrowed, and then why indicating midway. The law said it doesn't matter whatever happens. Central government financing cannot go above 5%. So you have an Attorney General who is privy to this ugly development. He is supposed to protect the purse of this particular country and ensure, say, we don't flout upon the laws of this particular country. But Wabuna Nieguso, and all the baby no author to Simbunu, the Attorney General, the other AG. Right. That is the Auditor General. Alaska, where lies the future of this particular country? In the hands of these guys. That is why I told you, say, Ghana is in the hands of criminals. Because the way and manner they are going about me, I don't just accuse me. Can't make the same. Exactly.
We don't talk about you.
Just to substantiate, because look at the current state of this particular country. Maybe a borrowing, Sabusian born at the Yaba. Now notice and a Kufado, I could catch China for say yes, Romo. Your friend say Germany country China say ne canon for binge. Do you know why? Because countries know what we are seeing in and over your friend say yes, standard debt obligation now. One country, you're owning one country because Oko Paris, I think the Paris Club, you're only on 1.9 billion. I don't know, it's not an individual, it's not a country. But one country, Ghana, then the Kappa, China, exactly. Which is $1.7 billion. Because do you know what China does? What they do in Alaska? Nisika, they have flexible terms. And do what you are, full. That's right. Now, what general the condition at it? Tell 1 million to ya, maybe Joe Bank of Ghana, no 1 million to ya, one or land in the Mala. That's what they do. That's right. So you very often you see China going to countries confiscating assets. Now, Omunko will be port.
That's right.
So that is what they do because China and can chow. That is why Akufo-Addo was begging the Germany when Oba said, "On country China say, oh, yeah, almost my briefing space because China and can chow." Alaska, this is the current state of this particular country because and your debt to your GDP. No maya ya bobosia over your friends have $575.7 billion. Alaska, or mine that you are here, Sasika will translate into $47 billion. Ghana economy in size, yes, and we are making a government of Ghana debt too, and yet total public debt because my country says total public debt, you know. So, the government of Ghana debt, that is in the tune of this $47 billion, you know. But total public debt, which includes monies owned to, owned by state-owned enterprises.
That's right.
And other corporations like your friend is saying, Bank of Ghana, because we know what they are trying to do with this Bank of Ghana, they are trying to securitize it. You're floating in bond in the coming days. I don't know about your friend is saying domestic debt, you know. That is the strategy. Just almost to the sense that Nana may catch you be say, Sakufa to free your mind ways, it will take about 30 years and send a Ghana economy about the right footing. Because if they can use the central bank of Ghana, you're only talking negative about the government. Let the government does the right thing. I will talk about it. I am not a naysayer. But these are criminal acts being perpetrated by individuals who are supposed to know better. And penning for a sebi and command being quite, you are being quite a hunyan sase, Nemo Muye, a Wahunsun son, a brona money, and you embedding and Nentino Alaska, or more bomb miner than Hako. They are right-thinking people in the MPP. Some of the former ministers, they are out there talking. But it's an Obama Koba.
That's right.
What I say? Because these are reasonable men of conviction who have realized that even though we support the party, but the nonsense that is being floated out there by Kenoforata and Akufo-Addo, we can no longer support it because unless our mind there will be no Ghana after 2024, and that is what they are doing. Systematically implementing that particular thing because Alaska, Mekato say government of Ghana debt and a year $47 billion, you know. But what the total public debt now the Sika de Bank of Ghana do the Baka now Kofa Makacho Cocoa Board a cow model. Okay, that's a bond. Okay, your friends a special purpose vehicles. I just in motion a car gusunina. What the Baka according to IMF, no, according to World Bank projection, you know, it's supposed to be around 104.7% of our GDP. And do you say, yes, he can get Japan, you know, Yaka, as a chance, that is it. Exactly, because there is no money anywhere. That is why government consistently is forcing a deal down the throat of bondholders. Because what Bobusiano Kwasiasuama or Mainabo, and when that thing happens, so Bobusiano, so I catch yourself in the first international credit space, you know, they will lock you out. So we've been locked out. We can't go there to borrow. Because ratings ben how they call Moody's are downgrade you, Fitch are downgrade you. Your friends saying S&P are downgrade you.
Only physical space.
So ben how they call. So these guys are bent on doing everything to ensure that debt restructuring never cost. And one aspect, Omoya said, say Yansan send him say, a cana. I'm for sick of the bank, and I'm for Nako. And I sympathize with them, even though I say some of them are hypocrites. Mammy, former Chief Justice, Najuman Obey, Nentataman, no, they are to her. Because Abroya Jumano, she could have decided so the Sikabeko holidays are called Jinani, Akochi, your friends say, skating as a for baby Jinani, but she knew what was ahead in Tino, or your investment in the Sikat for, said, or call Ahodiemo Asabi, or the Sasikana Ayaway, Alaska. You have no right to touch people's investment. Abra, woman or Montiasia. Now we know Mont and Tenase and Casama Nipan and Casa. Oh, okay. Ebia say they are Matthias here. Alaska. Now the crop of people we are talking about, maybe you have no idea. Ghana has a wahoo. I have spent enough time at the hospital to realize answer no be baba hospitals or diabetes or we know nasabi or nakomano. Just a yadia na do door na ma. A commander heart I expanded by a Friday cardiomegaly. Heart and I kakrakadada. The person is racing closely to their grave. And at this time, pensioners and don't now after you mama who say hypertensive in Alaska. Yare na do door on 1 week. So if they go off their medication or more access to money, or maybe finance those things now, in the next 2-3 years, you see some of them dying. Because Yadia no ya friend about Yadia no hold that about because why you busy here you into one. And the fear abano one more when you go home develop into stroke. Yes, because you saw hypertension, a stroke, they were winning. There is a direct link. One managing a year, the next day you find yourself when you stroke. If you are or hypertensive. Then you are now when you stroke, and some will realize some hypertension precipitated to stroke. These are the realities that we are talking about, Alaska. And these are guys who decided to finance their fancy lifestyles around when we started last year talking about these things. I just am running now for jet in as for cover.
That's right.
Yet radio say can now for send text message ye matter. Thinking say oh if you have I am penasem. But Alaska, this is the reality. Yet your minor bubble sia my ne or minor be jina be jina ne. They say Ghana ye ton I talk. Okosra ya mount. And I nice so and I say ye way out of this particular mess, you know. I say young call IMF. IMF Sikana Yakwajino. I have told you already. Because Sika bought free Bank of Ghana and Kwano, also change the IMF for them.
That's right.
And who say raise the eyebrow?
No,
Sika Yatama free Bank of Ghana a plenty of my illegal, criminal, and it's unlawful, no. A switch and Sika free IMF because we translated that $41.9 billion Ghana cedis now. Around $3.3 billion. But
meanwhile, IMF scarce $3 billion. And yet they are only in Yasuba.
Exactly.
To come in trenches.
So what Tibe now say? Niema air cosi this restructuring and as if we're costing ya baba yamo mino and your baby. I'm telling you, you're only fooling yourself because Akufo-Addo has demonstrated time and time that he doesn't have what it takes to fix this particular country. Now, Alaska, Nemo more yearning as if is not inspiring enough and it's not convincing enough to bring anybody on board because the same guy, the same team, the same individuals are more running Ghana under the bus. You expect certain responsible leadership here, at least some new faces will be coming. You know,
the same people say yes, no problem.
You see that sort of thing that he did call your friends, you see reshuffling.
Exactly. We have a young friend filling the blanks.
And Nipana, almost a judgment Hokono, and Odibia Sishim. But as a reasonable president, Ghana recognizing the current state of Ghana's economy, no, Alaska, what you do is that you try to flip inside by some of the appointments, you know, over year for what it is so. Sabaya size of government, you know, ubetia compressing, no, Sabaya government financing, you know, ever from Nagana New York Tibia, or your bondholder, and who say, oh, I buy not make sacrifice after all, and actually, so reduce the size of government, you know, Menso Minya Bibi. Alaska, he's never willing to lift a finger to do anything. And Ghana, or more finance, or more fancy lifestyle, no Geo money, secures or Monsaka, you know, Monsaka, then they are asking poor people to make sacrifices, upo, you have to. And there seems to be no way out of the situation.
And everybody is quiet.
Everybody is quiet. That is the hypocrisy. So Alaska, me Ghana economy na yete hono. I am so afraid. Because, you see, so what to anywhere tunnel no there is no light at the end of the tunnel.
No hope.
No hope. Trust me. From where I sit and from what I see, there is no hope. Because this your friends say fiscal space where you pay home baby, you know, and your Tom say huro. You have a failure with another bossing.
Exactly.
That is all that Kinofurata is trying to do. Sabaya, at least certain money will be flowing. But the guy is never interested in some of the decisions that were taken in the past. And the president is not responsible enough to realize that much, your friends, a crime has been committed. And there is the need for us to go back and look at those things.
What are the constitution states? Say the man penny be better so. Na obo o mine na constitution no e magana for ho kwan ye be fa so se nibru su ye kura na ye be man e di aduma na to
Alaska more condition dia ma fifre atimi pa Alaska me say democracy wa ho democracy na architecture na esi won it is one of the most reasonable setup you can ever see anywhere. I have seen a lot of people trying to punch holes in democracy in Nasefon, but trust me, Alaska, you're one of the best. Democracy a creative room. Whenever be a creative room be try to create a window. A creative window. Say by ya. Your friend is saying you bet escape route. Abra and Mary Moya Diamba. Apart from say you as a person, no conviction, realizing the need, say you have messed up. So you are resigning, Alaska. Constitution, I just work clearly said. Say Drew baby. Nasa omampanyin nyama oye ne ye anti-democratic Parliament have the right to ensure say you be impeach no.
Exactly.
You be impeach no. But Alaska, look at the nature of our politics. Not the kind of sycophancy, bootlicking politics here in Okromhai. Can we ever succeed? Even the MPs who took to saying various platforms and a campaigns can over no. Echo do parliament say among sense on no. Look at what happened.
And you almost have Nanado reasons are more on me and
they are just bunch of jokers. Nobody should take them serious. That is why I'm telling you consistently Ghanaians are losing trust and confidence in parliament as an institution. Already the executive is gone because I'm not sure anybody has respect for the executive anymore.
Not
considering what Akufo-Addo kind of right and the same way parliament is on the line because parliament has proven sufficiently the Ghana won't even rely on the institution to do anything sensible to ensure say you get ourselves away because they will divide along partisan lines and it is the partisan interest that will reign supreme because that was a better avenue for them to agree with the minority then and ensure say at least Kenoforiata this time there uncle. But you were telling them so if Kenoforata will go, it will go on our own terms. Terms bang.
As if the country is for
exactly. So the guy was emboldened. That is what you cost sign a bushing for. Also, Obesia, your friend saying Parliament and your business and a question. No, one who I him for no Mosha Brogam Kiki at Yachino. I broke them kicking out on the 3 cities. No, at the top, this is show money about Parliament defending him. Because among this year, Indians, we don't care about what he has done. Yes, we don't care about what he has done. He's one of our own. And this is how far these guys have brought this particular country. So Alaska, this extreme partisan politics, the polarized nature of our politics, and this hyper partisan environmental activity, you don't expect such thing to be a reality. It's in the constitution, but it will never materialize under any circumstances because they will not be willing. Because trust me, at this time, calling on Kenoforata to resign. No, Akufo-Addo should be the first person from the Flagstaff House. The guy should have left the Flagstaff House long time ago when he demonstrated excessively. Said he's nothing but a problem for this particular country. Oh yes,
the president is a problem.
Akufo-Addo is more than a problem.
But he came to solve problem.
He's more than the problem.
Wow,
Alaska, because this was a guy who was engaging in fanciful talks then at the political fringes. Your friends are making pronouncements, and he was able to cut a nick for himself as a strong guy. Oh, Akufo-Addo, there no nonsense man when it comes to corruption. That was the name he got for himself. And this guy fooled a lot of people within academia. He fooled a lot of people who are interested in politics. Because they all bought into the fact, say, oh, this is the strong guy or bad. At least corruption, you bet me in the bad. Alaska, today, here we are. We have a corruption bazaar at our hands. And the chief priest, Akufo-Addo. Oh, yes, he's the chief priest. He's the chief priest of corruption. He's the one garnering and ushering people. Obiya corruption, Basu, Alaska. You are the president. You need to hit people in line. When is US, when is Roy and Wade, you're turning abortion, they say you're demon or illegal in the United States of America. Sure. But Congress has to pass a law to ensure say you better implement it. And Joe Biden by social media, Robert Ross said, states in your friends saying Congress better me I am a law, but they should know say at the final stage, he as a president, he's going to veto that particular thing. And
that's right.
That is being the president. That is being president. You exercise conviction. You exercise power in a very reasonable and a sensible manner. You assert authority for people to know that yes, you are the sheriff in town. Alaska. But over Kroma, does it look like we in Panivo Kroma? Does it look Ghana just for Nito form? Now look at what is happening in the political arena. Does it look like you're in Panivo Kroma? Just be honest with yourself. For say when you need and away are crying away for No. I'm talking about responsible leadership. You know, say, do you see those things
in government
everywhere? Because they can make everywhere and they say Alaska. Governance, it's not one man's business.
Exactly.
Even civil society organizations, chieftaincy institution nem pafo mpanifo mo da no asofo ne nasefo we all have a stake and we all have a role to play at any point in time.
My question is prior to 2016 elections a nationwide demonstration Ebra the labor force a demonstrating regional minister Gina Ebia Jackson Park AG concerts no be Gina Kumasi Jubilee Park no be Gina say we saw how Ghanaians were aggressive and it is more than that but nobody is talking why
because that's what my culture say those things always know we are political factor no a partisan factor no and a domineering so idea no the passion whatever is driven by politics and a partisan interest. I know the day say party the banner say a several interest Alaska. Yes, it didn't kasa.
That's right.
So when I was thinking who's out but few individuals now who led all these charges, they've been handsomely compensated. Look at Ahotor, for instance. Was he not the guy not share Makaba? I know the German oil demonstration, So now he's the finance minister. So that time Ben Onya and this is the guy and the company is advising government on what to do, borrow, and they were in a cut. This is a guy and a crowd class one crowd who say Ahotor is the most incompetent finance minister in the history of this particular country. Not just incompetent, but he has also messed up the present and the future of this particular country. The economic fortunes and they are saying the prospect of this particular country, and then what disintegrate here, and then there is no future for this particular country. The same guy is still hanging on to position because he lacks the sense and the conviction to realize that, oh, I have done something wrong. Let me just excuse myself for somebody to take over the room. Maybe, just maybe, someone in the meeting that supported the person. Say, but yeah, I bet you have brief confidence. The guy is out there, but he's the same guy who demonstrated. He came with his friends. This is a finance minister, Oba finance minister, Oba no Okotu the private sector workers in and no. So whenever he's doing anything, there is nobody to stop him. That was the idea. Oba no workers are more data bank and also saw Oba mean so for
the finance
wine or signing call for you know. So now I don't know private sector no. I don't know why Porto so we say Porto sim. That is what he has done. It's all taking decision. They see him as their boss in the private sector. So he has the win way to do whatever that he want to do. But as president, who end at the bus stops at you, realizing the damage and the extent of that particular damage, you take action to clip this particular thing. And I can't just say leadership in democracy in Alaska. I'm saying we are just practicing. I told you some time ago, say democracy in the hands of a fool.
That's right.
It's like giving a sharp knife to a baby. The next thing to expect is bleeding.
Again, democracy.
Democracy in the hands of a fool. It's like passing a sharp knife to a baby. The next thing to expect is bleeding. That is the point we are at in this particular country. We are just fooling ourselves playing democracy. But the reality is there. People who are fronting this particular country, Alaska, they are not Democrats. They are imposters.
Ivan, look at this. In 1969 to 1972, Edward Akufo-Addo, Edward Akufo-Addo, ceremonial president, and Jones Oforiatta as finance minister. Yaka Edward Akufo-Addo, oye Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ne papa. Jones Oforiatta, yen current finance minister no, also ne papa. Omo busuya in such a way say, Emra Achampon ebaye no, Achampon can say Kanu ontua. Entiampa Kanu wentua. 2017 Omoma Edward Akufo-Addo ne ba ya nanado wala be president. Ana Kenu Oforiatta Jones Oforiatta ba wala be finance minister. And that's how Crawford ya ba nti omo papa no 1969 to 1972 aba ball mine 2017 to date omo man so aba the ball mine. So you could see sir anytime MPP baba power no on the broker the 20 or ban for through baba What to me, you should say time no and gas river. It will be CSC we are not Ghana for the facing house for that matter. When you're in
Alaska, me even that historical lines in a crown, I don't want to even go there. Send a papa nearby. That is not even my business. Alaska, what I want to see is leadership. Makacho said the best solution to our problem is leadership. Say, they are toying with the country as if their personal property. If they have a least realization, say somebody will come in the future and deal with them drastically, and trust me, they will not be behaving the way they are behaving. Yet we need somebody who is very ruthless but very pragmatic.
Okay.
As a president, realizing the damage these guys have caused to this particular country, no, you ensure that every one of them will rot in jail. That is the only way out. So the next government will come and realize, say, also there are consequences.
And they are telling you they are breaking the AIDS.
It doesn't matter. It's a politics now, so definitely they will. So Alaska, you set the ground rules. You set the ground rules. Realizing, say, these are the your friends say rules are set for your home. And say, oh yeah, a president now mess it up. The consequences, you know, await you. That is the only way out. Because the business as usual. Nipa no commit a crime. The president who is supposed to act, you know, and ensure say he achieved that discipline to ensure that people guide your more. Because I can't say, yeah, nipa doesn't need saying Yankopon si boy, no. Nipa doesn't need being who was as his papa anything.
That's right.
We are all evil. That is our nature. Say, Embra ni hoa. Honan kabe hu niema nipa betimi aye. Now what the one kasa kwa unko akosho dem a hwe niema ya unko utimi ye. That is the real human being. It doesn't matter whether you are a pope and answer way in Alaska. Whenever Nipa there's an opportunity, they will do the excesses until somebody realizes that there are consequences for his actions. Until somebody realizes that there are consequences, you know. Until somebody realizes that there are consequences, you know. You will never. Your friend is saying, I'm for a best row. So your job is to ensure that there are consequences for action. What I say na make no. Sa na be mani party osuro ya ade a obegina hu say ade a meye samanya ni ya sabi nsunsanso obi wo baabi. Na say sa ade no nim na be business as usual. President ni mom na rather all clear man for wrongdoing in say for no man. Alaska.
That's a condone wrongdoing.
Because I can give you litany of instances how happy or chrome her. Where you expected the president to crack the whip, and I ensure, say, some state institutions be a committee or more to investigate the matter in the end. You know, the president Nankasa Ayosia Quine. That is why he got the name clearing agent.
That's right.
Because Ajimemenu case by classical case, and there are several discussions for seats in some by ecosystem and several instances. So when you compromise yourself in that particular manner, Alaska, trust me, say nobody will take you serious. So other people at the lower ranks, you know, will draw inspiration from the fact that so that particular human nature now will come to bear. People will do the excesses until say nipa be realize that there are consequences for their actions in Alaska. Nobody, it doesn't matter. Pope be the president, still people will still until nipa be realize that there are consequences. Right. So going forward, no, this attitude of Yankopon nipa and na Yankasa, you taking the circumstance in this situation. At the end of the day, you know, we are impoverishing majority of the people who are supposed to be given opportunity and system at least. Everything you are more kakra. Now, almost what me you know, states need to create opportunity for by a few people. Now we are lucky not to be a politician. Alaska, within few days, nobody rich. Nobody is asking where you got those money from. Where to come and one sorry PA so is sikani.
That's right.
Baby and CK free bobi misa. Politicians sorry dinechi, asofa sorry dinechi, or nama red carpet is on them. Nobody questioned the source of its wealth until later you realize it's nothing but a Ponzi scheme. Look at the number of people I'm falling victim to those things. The number of people who have died. But see there, has anybody committed any investigation to ensure so it's a free state, anybody can do anything at all. That is why I'm telling you, penny in chrome her. Because I can penny or chrome her and can ask him no will come with consequences. And that will serve as a a lesson for people. Say, but in that venue where people can get away. That is why you see kind of doing whatever that he's doing, and then he has the infantry to appear in the public and convincing people say, yes, Remo. Such nonsense. This guy is out there preaching such nonsense, but he's never ready to lift a lid on the things that he has done. When he decided, no, let me conclude on this thing. When he decided to collapse bank in this country, when he decided to take away jobs, when he decided to introduce e-levy, then I said for a month for Kenyans and some trends, at least just take your time, engage people, speak to people. He said, he never listened to anybody in this particular country. Alaska, when he started borrowing, and then Oko Eurobonda, Ghana Kayada, so 13 billion. Yes. I don't can't sika I did the amount for no 13 billion. And yet menya could do a catch external creditors actually a Canadian mintia. Then you go back and act the same Kenoforata who is acting pensioners there. Yes, Ramo Musicano, Mom from Fema by say. Abra covered by ya friend say debt service suspension initiative nearby, you know. IMF and the World Bank was ushering countries there. Come for a deal, you know. Why didn't the guy go? Because on himself, he will be forced to open the books. Books so Bioman Semewom. The reason why they didn't want to go to IMF is some of this rot because any IMF and can animal win their marbon. COVID-19 and exactly. And in the coming days, more revelations will come. Borrowing from the central bank, and then as for even the minority in parliament raised alarm on this particular thing. Mekai Haruna Idrisu, I can't say we say the rate at which Bank of Ghana borrow sika to government, you know. Say I'm sure who be BBC Alaska until recently and a Bloomberg and who is the IMF and you warn your Ghana for say as part of the conditionality we should stop borrowing from the central bank. What I say. So you see. Second of all, say, minor watch, then you go back and ask yourself, say, can I didn't see ye? This is now take ye na sefono. Is he telling us that you should forgive him? Nasadia forgive you or mine. In a country, Ghana is not a church. We are not running a charity organization. That's somebody who mess up with the country
and ask for forgiveness.
No, such is nonsense. You don't do that in a country. You either go to jail, you answer for your crimes, or court, and I say, you get away. In a country, my culture say, you don't show mercy, you don't show weakness. Once you show mercy, that country is done. Because everybody will take inspiration. I told the idea, and that man will pass me a mercy card, and then I'll get away.
But I'll say, that was Ivan J. Innocent. I know, and I'll tell you that this takes us to 22 minutes into 4 p.m. live on the radio. Ahotor 92.3. You're from Imano Kwesima from Alaska, and the commander with a commanding voice. Mammy come home, Simami, me ba. You can come with messages, nothing. You are trying to make this not be so I come out here. Top FM 92.3. Why you? I didn't know what fast you were to Musano. I see, I don't know, you say, a good morning, have on the shadow, example, Papa, they see in Sano, Haneno, never pitch command, and Koye, infections, and all some answers. I'm going to Jenny 60 and the 2 are still educating in Ano. Good morning, have on the shadow, and cold, and I do 2 good morning, have our Mr. and then 2 are still cry. Now, we get them and she won't go out when they say, hey, you will study the last one. No, good morning, have our Mr. and we're gonna find out, baby. I'll call have our shop and the pharmacy. I'll bring you a baby. What your car was so good morning, and now say, Macho. I didn't pay a fair animal who was seen testimony. Dr. 3 days, and I'll confirm good morning, and I tell my king about Ghana, waiting, and I'll buy to my friend our farmers, and about the idea I found. I want to pay number 9. Number 0246 594117.
Abu Namamunti, and your mom, you said prostate, I did remember you. And you do know what you feel to and I had it for me 40 years and above. What began to set up for motivation and prefer watching. What began soon as said, so in your car, so whenever you're proud, no one put one was or Jamua and a sir. I once swear if you would soon as a 2 son of Yajiwo, and to be strong and many to an among who get over the prostate center, who will home our future blood last talk, as well you know about the phone so. That year, you can suddenly say, when you're to an amount to one now, we get 90% up for 10%. I can say one case of the GTA.
What is the next issue? Next way.
The current state of economy in the face of ongoing debt restructuring. Right, I wish I see my university of Wapan home. I mean, Cow was a high out on 92.3. I had no paper, I send a donation house show and a gun of Casa. Nana Pocano and Nanato Pocano Heba Spiritual Center. Bia Sabana went to our remote house, so be a show ball not on this to promise and feel and let Juma Sama. Paper of Akadano. So the promotion were Jumum and now po you were doing Yaman Koya. Bomadi Sauni aye Nanato Pocano Heba Spiritual Center ever to Kase. Na Yawon Koko Arinadi and Anka and a Yobutu. Yanin Nanato Pocano and Casa 0240 550 930 0240 550 930. Na Yanin to train Comona Bibiaso and Yakama. Family messages Bakumi and Bibi Nafi Yen and Twaji and also. When should you what the Ampa or see Alaska or see Ahotor from Michamina? In fact, or see me per branch or Casa I was studio hono. Now, since John Mahama about power now went to me, I'm punishing some crop way on my way about Titia Passan. And I say, Mom would try, said that could be on my Cassia Mamukai, normally the NDC. Or see a per Obia. Obetumi abeji yensika edi amay na yedi sankrofo yi eso akotu eye afiase ose odi aye nechia so adema eye Sam eye George mamehwa we so ewo ho ose Alaska ye chia o Ghana for koso edi ye ose the next are not go ye trust and destiny into the hand of ene obia Oni Alaska. Okay, but I see honestly the Abba and also Alaska. Joseph Oriata, no deputy finance minister. JH Mensa, Nana Oye substantive finance minister. Now, we should Kluche Jacob and Wakwa North constituency ready with you by. Or see, you'll be a only tima na obefa taxpayers and now say Ghana for two so the could see a cathedral mira hospitals ewo akangurum. Na nkwala nya baby nda nkwala nya aduane ndi na obeka se odi omani sika akwakosi eya cathedral obi a oni saa we no ana do yes asini odi ni charge won abo chas ye bo ada akwado na friend ozi ono so ne dia odi aba ono no aye we atenase BOT atenase Ivan ma ya tewu be ye simakakra two-way fanafe BOT in fact the time in aka that restructuring in Yama at consumption what can you show win and kakra ever honor beauty and to us
Alaska the mechanic say Michelle BOT so you share yeah the area behind the scenes Alaska you see the cost of Ghana no home I said the BIC can say also TV, I see individual bondholders. Also TV, I say, your friends saying, pensioners, and then I say for the bottom line, is Alaska. Sikana, what bank now, you see, I'm restructuring. I one way or the other, I individual's money. Because Sikana banks, no crowd, bank in Niska.
That's right.
You know, banks in Nisika. Yes, individual Sika, Yaja, no. So, Nina, effect on the economy and the impact on individuals is the same. So if we've gotten to a point where we are being told, Nano, let the be friend from the US. And she told me, say she's in the US. Or yeah, Juma, she well, who they need so about Ghana to support the economy. And then she's in the US and the Ecosuno, nobody has engaged her. This is a young lady yo osdasora no pa awo ewo US yo koye na dwuma na wa hunyansa de sika ba ne krom sa o de ba beto ban kwabrane atam ne sika de ye de oye because obi akodi ni nsam fon a o de Ghana man no akoto chaskele aman na man na bo. And now these individuals are being forced to sacrifice. Whether you like it or not, you have to. But the good question is, Abayano, Jumadi Ben and Wadana Dia, I so much convincing enough for the ordinary Ghanaian and onion naysayer. I said, Musikano, but believe in the government's government no good intention. And the Nipa no moya restructuring require Nipa Sebi. You bet me trust and confidence in him. In the first place, Akufo-Addo as a person, just say, na so as a Pharaoh, Abraham now so be pursue Israel for now. Omokoto nsuom na still ano di omachi no. Because Alaska, there na see what kind of rata na stumbling block ama manfo nya trust and confidence no. Onyini free wa Ghana for Kenyans asema o wiase nyina so ontie. So if you are not willing to forgo your cousin, to let him go, to repose confidence in the economy, you have no right out there begging anybody to your friend saying show you compassion. Because he has no right. So those who do emotional analysis on TV, other platforms, and we have a duty. We have no duty. When certain individuals have taken an entrenched position and they decide they said they will look after themselves and ensure that they live well, all to the detriment of the majority of the people. Why is Kenoforata still sitting there? Why is Akufo-Addo refused flatly to ensure that he will cut down the size of his government? He has the option to do. Government expenditure, he's never willing to cut it down. Then you are telling poor people to let their investment go because when are we Akufo-Addo? So what? What is Assembly American? So you see, these are some of the things I invoke with the passion some of us speak. Obi and Tanya buying. We all want Ghana to succeed. We all want this particular country to be at the pedestal. The average and the ordinary Ghanaian benya hope. Uye Utah, you have certain economic your mind to be also beting leverage to do something. Obi and Tanya will be here. Buying our power. Obi and Tanya will be here. All we want is the good thing for people of Ghana. So that is what you must do. But the baby will be someone kasa. More actions and inactions, your recklessness and incompetence. Abo Mayena, first you show sign by your friends of sacrificing massively to convince BOT and Alaska and answer me. I am so a sikano, oh fire, oh, Abayana sacrificing tea. But we are not ready to do anything. Our lifestyle and our team and our way, air finance is a bunu, baby agency here. And your mind at 30 million say, or they call hand I am Rantiano. Now, some will catch your backra or back in Yan's home. So this is the Nehemiah cause. So we are all disappointed in the government. That is the reality.
I say, I'm not innocent and I will attend and cannot. My angel from a BOT. Na Kizi Rufin was Alaska, Yakufado Nibamia, and Alankaso Kennedy Japan, Ghana for any one nation, say, South Crofu with dear, go to cry. Na Yambuku school, Yambusco to one. Na Yamanko, commandment disease, Yamanko Kramaya. Right, BOT. Memo official
Afipam committee.
That's right.
Afisa Mena da sotin. And then who said Ghana Brewa Bako, former chief justice of the Republic of Ghana.
Ah, Ghana Brewa Bako.
Several for the doors.
Over penny
Bako. I say you trash your nanka, or I was a share anything. Now a camouflage. You know, a brother who said former chief justice would be pensioners in Mono to cause some positive affection for the government.
Oh, really?
Obibi Obeje did not own your critical thinker.
Wow.
Yeah, it's almost say, who really did the conspiracy of the rich. What they do, they say, Nipa bad me nube hunso. Na Bakwa could name so netifi. Pretending say one hunso.
Okay.
Knowing deep within someone a hunso. And your mommy will not COVID-19 transfer no down.
Exactly.
But from the way to make a contact. Now, so when you know, who job no my drive for. So she has a questionable character.
What raises you?
You know, so Obibiana, a man for a social media comment. No, she is part of the mess and come out of the mess to create some positive affection for them PP government. And then Obi Abedin say, oh,